So talking about divorce and let's say someone's going through a divorce and they obviously don't want it to drag out for 2 years. Would you say the collaborative process is much quicker than the traditional litigation route?
My experience has been yes. Even the most highly conflicted case where there's everything in the kitchen sink thrown in the scenario, we resolved in 8 months.
Wow.
If that case had gone to the court, it would have hands down 2.5, 3 years on average. Yes.
Yeah, same here. And I also just feel that the collaborative process gives the couple so much more control over that timeline. If they want to move quickly, we can work together to try to make that happen. If they want to take it slow, we also can do that. But you're not at the mercy of the court system and the dates that are dictated to you. You have so much more control over how fast or how slow the process goes.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's right there. That's enough to get me convinced. What about price or cost of divorce? I mean, when you litigate a case, it is expensive. So how about through the collaborative? Is it about the same cost, or is it a little bit less or a little bit more? Like, can someone talk about that?
So oftentimes people believe that the collaborative process is more expensive than litigation because even though it's not mandatory, at least in Florida, to have other professionals, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have at least a neutral facilitator when especially children are involved to help. And it, again, allows me to do my job to give the legal advice. So I love that aspect of it. And then, of course, with finances, having a financial neutral expert in the picture as on the team. So oftentimes people say, oh my gosh, we're going to have to pay for not only my attorney, I'm going to have to pay for the financial neutral, I'm going to have to pay for the mental health facilitator. However, in a litigation case, especially if we go to trial, you're going to have both sides hiring, their own expert, a forensic accountant, for example, or a business valuation if there are businesses that need to be addressed and divided and talked about. So, of course, in litigation, it's positional. No one trusts anyone. You're like, oh, they are hiring Joe Smith to, serve as an expert witness. Well, we are going to have our own expert witness for trial. So you have 2 expert witnesses for finances. You could have 2 mental health professionals at trial for the parenting issues. You could have psychological evaluations that take place in the litigation process. You could have guardian ad litems that are also hired. You could have the mediator that comes into the picture as well for litigation cases. So it can get very, very expensive. And I would say, hands down, litigation in the end is more expensive than the collaborative process. And there have been, studies to show. And when I provide the options to my clients, there's this little map of some sort that outlines the different costs and et cetera of litigation versus collaborative versus mediation, uncontested divorces. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Clients are, of course, and understandably so, always concerned about the expense of all of this. The one thing that I do say about collaborative is that it will be a good use of your money. Of the fees, because there is really no waste in a collaborative process. It's not as though you're sitting in court waiting for the judge to call your case. You are paying various professionals hourly for their time, but you are paying for time actually spent on your case and finding solutions for your family. So I think it's a very effective use of your hard-earned money. There is no waste when it comes to a collaborative case. And I know that the professionals that we work with are always trying to be mindful of the cost to the family if there is say a meeting, and all of our meetings have agendas. We know what we're going to be talking about. They're well thought out, they're well planned. If we're having a meeting that involves only, co-parenting issues, then perhaps we don't have to have the financial neutral join us for that meeting, if it wouldn't be a good use of their time and wouldn't be productive.
Nice. Okay. Well, I appreciate all the wonderful information. And Kristen and Jackie, thank you so much. But before we go, if anyone would like to get in touch with you directly, can you both just say the best way that would be?
Absolutely. So you could email me, Kristen, Kristen, at kwglaw.net. I am constantly, seeing emails pop up. So that would be the best way. I also can be found, you can research more about me on www.kwglaw.net.
And same for me, it would be to go to my law firm's website. We're the Joseph Law Group. You can Google us. We're in Garden City, New York. And my email address is jcaputo, JCAPUTO, at josephlawpc.com. And there you can find, on our website, all of the other groups that I'm affiliated with. And, even if you're in another state, I think Kristen and I both would say, reach out to learn more about the process, and we can try to help connect you to someone who is licensed to practice collaboratively in your state.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for all of the information and getting the word out there about collaborative. And if you need to get a hold of these ladies at all and you want to go through me, you're welcome to go to bagladydivorce.com. And if you have any more questions about collaborative, just let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deanna. Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you, Deanna. Thank you, Jackie.